flex, 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 yeah, flex, yeah, flex, flex. Listen, I don't like.
Check, mic check.
1, 2, 1, 2.
We're live. Don't say nothing you don't want to record. Damn.
Let my mouth regulars. Real bad.
All right. I ain't got no name for this yet. I guess it's the More Fitness Show. We'll come up with something sooner or later.
Yeah, we got to brainstorm on a name.
But today we got Diamond. So yeah, how I think I'm gonna be starting most of these off is not what do you do, but who are you?
I should have went back and watched Rodney so I could be prepared for these questions. But I'm Diamond. I am a lot of things. I live a lot of lives. I'm a hairstylist. I'm a posing coach. I'm a mom. I'm an athlete. I'm a competitor. I think that's most of the hats right now.
Okay. Cool. What started your fitness journey?
I've always been an athlete, to be fair. Like as a child, I played all types of sports. I've ran track, I've cheered, I've played basketball. I wished I could play football, and just wasn't in the cards for me. I did baseball. Like I've always been an athlete, so I think I just got to a point as an adult where I knew I needed to move my body more. So came across you some way, somehow on Instagram, and I was like, I think he can get me where I need to be, or where I want to be anyway at the time.
Okay. Cool. So you compete now. What is something that competing has done for you or taught you?
Competing definitely has taught me that I'm way more disciplined than I thought I could ever be. Competing has taught me that your mental matters more than you think it does in like any situation. Like your mindset in anything it can be a deal breaker. If you don't have the right mindset for anything, then you'll never get to the thing. Like you gotta have the mental in place in order for the physical to like even follow behind. It's definitely a mental game, and it's taught me that like life is a mental game for sure. I think that's my biggest takeaway.
Gotcha. Okay, and just to paint the picture for the people, I kind of went down your resume, so I'm gonna do better on the next one, so I can get my Shannon Sharp on. But you know what I'm saying? We got Diamond. To many is Big Diamond. Hairstylist, natural hair,
Yep.
braids,
Yep.
Posing coach.
Yep.
What else? Something else too, I feel like.
What we say? Posing coach, competitor, mom. I don't know. I do feel like I'm forgetting something, but
Yeah, we'll probably unpack it later.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So hair. That's a deterrent when it comes to fitness.
It is.
Especially with certain ethnicities. What's the first thing to come to mind when, I don't know, a black woman trying to figure out what to do with her hair?
Yeah, I get that a lot. Because I specialize in natural hair, it's easy for me to suggest. I have a lot of lock girlies. I do a lot of locks. But I also do a lot of just natural styles, and I love that Black women are coming back to that. I do a lot of braids with natural hair, a lot of twists with natural hair, and that's super easy to maintain, especially when you're in the gym. For those who sweat in their hair a lot, who are very active, sweat in their scalp a lot and are very active. And we can have so much fun with hair. I think we, unfortunately, have been taught that certain styles are not age appropriate or not professional in certain settings. And that's just not true. And I love that people are coming into that realization now. I got a lot of girls who will braid their natural hair and put some beads on it, and they go work in the office 9 to 5. I love that for them. So a lot of, like I said, braids and twists. You could do a silk press in the gym. You could do it, and it can be maintained. And I even have some girls who have gone back to getting a relaxer, but obviously we don't, that's not okay for everybody. That's not everybody's journey. So, like I said, a lot of Bantu knots and just being creative, I think, has really been the wave recently, and I love that for us.
Is there a top 1 or top 3, let's say, damn it, I don't know what to do with my hair. What hairstyle should I get? Is there a top 3 or anything like that?
Like I said, actually I have lots of lot girlies, especially in the gym. But definitely natural hair twists. I do a lot of those, or human hair twists. And then I do a lot of the girls are doing mini braids, and they're actually really healthy for your hair, whether you're in the gym or not. It's really a fantastic way to like track your growth and to keep up with healthy hair practices.
Cool. All right. And how do they get in contact with you if they wanted your help with that?
Oh. I do have an additional Instagram outside of my gym Instagram, and that one is just at Diamond, spelled just like the gym, DIAMOND, Latrese, LATRESE. And we'll put that in a caption or something somewhere.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. We're going to switch gears.
Yeah.
What is one thing about you that most people don't know and you actually wish they did?
That's actually one of my favorite questions, and I had...
I don't even know if you answered it back in the day when I asked you.
Yeah, I remember you asking me that a while ago. One thing people don't know about me that I wish they did. I wish people knew that I'm not a morning person. I do not like to converse before like 9 a.m. If I'm in here at 7 and it's 2 or 3 of us, cool, that's fine. But like, don't call me on 10 at 7:30. I'm not interested in whatever you got to say. I have to like slow roll into my mornings. I'm genuinely not a morning person at all. And I wish more people did that or knew that, because a lot of people, like I said, they come in 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and they up here. And especially if I'm on prep, because I done already probably did 15 things before I even got to you, and my energy already down here, so.
Gotcha. With that being said, that made me think of your schedule and time management with being a mother, and you got clients, live on the other side of town, you got basketball practice, all this type of stuff. What do you be thinking when people give you a whole bunch of excuses? You just trying to do their hair. You know what I'm saying? They paid you to do their hair, you just trying to do their hair, get them in, get them out. And what are you thinking when they just run down the excuses?
Yeah, I definitely get a lot of that. I wish I had time. I wish I could do this. I would love to be able to do this. And my answer is always, but you can. Because, being a bodybuilder really does teach you good time. I was terrible at time management prior to getting into competing, to be fair. But when you have to find the time to do an hour and a half of cardio every day on top of the hour it takes you to do your lifts, on top of working 8 hours, on top of trying to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep, on top of driving for 45 minutes to an hour every day, on top of practices and games and all those things. So that 24 hours dwindles real quick when you got all these things stacked on top of each other. I don't have time to watch TV. I don't have time to scroll on my phone. Like, you really do have to make the time. It's not even finding the time, because as people say, like, we all have the same 24. You got to make it work. And I don't do well with excuses now because of that. I get up at 5 a.m. regardless of the fact that I'm not a morning person. And that's just so that I can, like I said, it's kind of slow roll into my day. It gives me a good, it makes it easier for me to start my day on the right foot. If I start my day any later than 5:30, that means I'm rushing, and now it's not going to be the best day it could have been.
Gotcha. Just lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
You good. It'll come back to me. Mm-hmm. All right. So I guess tell me about this process for you. In the beginning, you sent me a picture of somebody. It's what you call it, a IG crush, something like that.
Yeah.
At least body crush.
Goals for sure.
And he was like, "Can little old me get thick like this?" And
Yeah.
now I think somebody, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody called you a horse, a stallion, or something like that.
Yes,
so, yeah.
that is hilarious. I forgot that happened. To be fair, shout out Tammy. She was one of your clients that I actually knew and was following on Instagram, and that was how I came across you. And she posted a picture, and if you know, Tammy standing in the door with that white bathing suit, and I was like, yeah, if ever I could get like this, I would love that. And at the time, I was what we like to call skinny fat. Nobody would look at me and call me fat for sure, but I definitely, my body composition was not at its best. So I was really interested in seeing how I could make those changes. And then, like I said, that IG body crush for real was, I didn't see it in the cards for me, to be fair, but I definitely had a client, I was doing their hair, and I walked away from them, and they was like, "Okay, stallion," and I was like, "Ooh, are you talking to me?" Because if you know me, I've never had a butt, I've never had a booty. I didn't get one until, what's this year, 26. I didn't for sure get my grown woman weight until, and my child is about to be 17. I didn't get my grown woman weight until, that was last year. It was 25.
That's when the allegations
Yeah,
started.
that's when the real life BBL allegations. I got a couple of those, like, girl, what you been doing? But we put in a lot of work. We ate a lot of food. And we put a lot of hours into them heavy ass hip thrusts.
Yeah. Gotcha. And then for the record, I only do natural bodybuilding.
That's it.
So it's a lot of misconceptions. When people hear the word bodybuilding, they have thoughts of pictures and women that look like men.
Yep.
The unfortunate truth is that if you lift weights and look like a man, you might have already looked like a man. I hate to say it. You got to talk to God about that.
That's between you and the Creator,
but
for sure.
lifting weights is not going to do that.
No.
And then even if you lift the weights, you have to eat the food to grow. So lifting weights is not alone, it's not going to make you bulky. It's also the food that allows you to grow. Blah, blah, blah. So one of the things I get now, especially with consultations, do you train regular people? I have all regular people.
Yep.
But I don't want to be a bodybuilder, but I want to build my legs. I want to build my arms. So you want to build your body.
So you want to build your body.
But you don't want to look like a bodybuilder. But you do want to look like you have built your body.
Yep.
It's a lot of misconceptions. So when you hear women say, "Nah, I don't want to get too big," all these other things, and I give you as much weight as I think you can handle. So how you feel about that now when people say that?
My favorite response is typically like, "Do I look like a man?" Like, the answer is always no. You look good. I just, I don't need to. I just want to tone up a little bit. I just want to, that's the favorite, the going verbiage in that space, or typically that mindset, right? But again, if you're not on some type of steroid, if you're not on some type of drugs, enhancements, if you gonna look like a man, that's because that was what was in the cards for you. It's not because you lift heavy weights, I promise you. You'll never accidentally get bulky. We all have to be very intentional about how heavy we lift, how much food we eat, and building a body is very possible. And you can do that however you see fit, right? But the accident is not, you're not going to wake up one day and look like Miss Olympia. I promise you, no matter how much weight you lift, you could be a power lifter. You're still not going to look like that unless you have to be so intentional. And again, like the enhancements is really what's going to make you, is the misconception that happens is when you hear bodybuilding, you typically see and think about people who are enhanced, who take steroids or drug enhancements or whatever. And that's just, as a natural bodybuilder, you're never going to look like that.
Yeah, just like lifting weights and eating chicken and rice will not move or rearrange your jawline. Chicken and rice and lifting weights will not make your voice sound like mine.
It's not going, nope.
Yeah, so in order for your voice to sound like mine, you're going to have to take some medication. You're going to have to stick a needle in, you got to do something. So yeah. All right.
And it was hard getting the BBL allegations. I ate a lot, like we we ate a lot and we lifted very heavy. Like I'm very.
So speaking of that, a lot of people that come to me, they think they're eating a lot, but they're not, and their body is just pretty much crashed. And I have to talk them and buy into the idea that they need to eat more. Was that a process for you?
Yeah, absolutely. And not one that, and it was probably another misconception, like especially in America, like our serving sizes are just so crazy that, you know, you can go sit down somewhere and you can eat 1,500 calories in one meal, whereas eating 2,000 calories, but breaking that up into 4 or 5 meals that are very intentional feels like I got tired of chewing when I first started prep. I could leave half of my carbs in my thing and be like, I'm not hungry anymore. I don't want to eat anymore. But that's not a problem that I have anymore. But it was definitely a transition going from like eating what I thought was normal to eating enough food to actually build muscle. It was definitely a transition.
Gotcha. Okay. During this fitness journey process, I ain't gonna say bodybuilding, what is something that the process made you accept?
It made me accept that I have to be responsible. Like I can only be responsible for what I can be responsible for. I can't account for outside influences. I can only do what I can do, right? Your 100% today might be what your 80% looked like yesterday, but that's what I got today. And the sooner you like learn to really take accountability for the things that you put forth, the easier it'll be to enjoy the process for sure. Because you do get to a point where like you look forward to coming to the gym, you look forward to, and not every day, because people talk about how motivation kind of comes and goes in waves, which is very true. But you know, you get to a point where like you really do look forward to coming to the gym. You look forward to being able to look back at pictures and seeing the differences that you've made when you are intentional about the process and what you're trying to do. So yeah, accepting the fact that like it's me versus me. I can't expect nobody else. I can't account for any outside. Like I can't be responsible for that.
Gotcha. All right, we're gonna start the next topic off right. Shout out Miss Tina Johnson. Talk about the process from Miss Tina Johnson, the Tina Johnson.
Yes.
Telling you that you walk like a damn football player, and now you're a posing coach. I
am. It's my favorite. It's genuinely my favorite part of bodybuilding is posing. But my first meeting with the Tina Johnson, yes, shout out to her. She's absolute best at what she does. She would have me turn around, walk to the back line. And she was like, yeah, no, we're not on the football field. And I was like, Tina, it lit a fire though, for real. It lit a fire under my ass because anybody who knows me knows that like when I get dressed and I want to go out or whatever and I put on some heels, like I'm gonna put that shit on and I can walk in some heels. Like in the streets, is one thing. But putting on heels and doing this bikini bodybuilding walk, baby, those are two opposite ends of the spectrum. They are not the same. And so it took a lot of practice to get that walk correct. It took a lot, but I fell in love with posing immediately. And I'm still inspired. There are plenty of women that I look at and I'm like, damn, I still want my walk to look like that. But I get a lot of compliments on my own walk. I've had people point me out in shows and YouTube videos and reach out to me and tell me how much they would love to look like me on stage, or have the confidence that I have on stage. But baby, we come a long way. We have come a long way.
Got you. How far out should somebody start posing?
Immediately. The minute you make up your mind that you're going to do a show, you hire a trainer, a coach. You need to also hire a posing coach. You need to immediately, because your posing is going to change, right? As your body changes throughout prep, your posing is going to change throughout prep, because now you're going to have, especially once you start to cut, your body's going to start to look different. And so what the judges, you get to see a different perspective of what the judges are looking for as your body changes. So it's immediately.
Gotcha. A lot of times I either see one of the two extremes. Either a person is showing up to a posing clinic and they have never put on their heels, or a person is trying to practice every day. They don't even have the foundation in. They worrying about transitions when they don't have the mandatory poses. Is there anywhere you would say you recommend a person to start, or like how much should you practice first? Any type of sweet spot you would recommend?
Definitely the mandatory poses. Like, transitions will come with time. You'll find what you like in time, but getting those mandatory poses down, whatever that might look like, bikini, the front and back pose and wellness, the quarter turns, figure, same thing, but you have to start immediately. If you're a woman, you gotta put your heels on, and you need to wear them regularly. I like to cook in mine. I like to meal prep in mine. People like to vacuum in theirs and clean up. That's important, because if you're uncomfortable in your shoes, it's never gonna be cohesive, right? And as men, even though y'all don't have to wear heels, posing is one of the hardest parts. It's easy to come in the gym and lift weights. It's not easy to eat the food and stick to a meal plan, but that's easier than posing. And people don't, if you've never done it, it's not something that like you consider, you would think would be hard, right? I had one of my clients, I was doing his hair and he asked me something about posing, and I was like, I want you to do a double bicep and I want you to hold it for 30 seconds. He held it for a smooth 7 and was like, that hurts. I know. Now try doing it for 15 minutes. So yeah, definitely mandatory poses first. Transitions will come. And again, that's something that you get comfortable with over time, but that's not going to be what's important to you. If you can't show off your physique in a way that the judges are looking for, then unless your physique is top-notch A1, then it's not going to matter if you can't pose correctly.
All right. 2 parts, but take it whichever way you want. You ain't got to remember both of them. If you had to start over with your fitness journey, is there something that you wish you would have done from the start? Or is there some things that you used to worry about and you figured out that it's not even worth thinking about, or, you know what I'm saying, waste of time, anything like that?
I would not change where I started or how I started. I really came into it blind, to be honest. You mentioned it to me, you kind of planted a seed and was like, I think you should think about it. I think you like it. And I was like, yeah, like no interest at all. But after, thinking about it, it was kind of one of those things. To be fair, like I was getting ready to turn 35, I believe. And I was just kind of like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, I get in good shape. I was considering having more children at the time. So it was just kind of like, at least I'll have good habits, healthier eating habits. And like I said, just being a good practice if I was to decide to have more children at the time. it would be easier to kind of bounce back into it. So it was just, like I said, what's the worst that could happen? But I'm glad that I went into it with that mindset because I didn't have any expectations. And then I got into it and I was good at it. Who knew? And then, like I said, falling in love with posing, like it's really been eye-opening for me. Like I love helping women feel confident in their body and how they show up on stage. And not just women, people in general. I love seeing people see themselves differently over time. It's very rewarding for me. So no, I wouldn't change how I started or anything that I did to get into it. And then I forget what was the second one?
Is there anything that you like worried about or tried to do that you feel like that was a whole waste of time or that wasn't as impactful as you thought it was?
I don't think so. I think I actually could have been more critical of some things. I think I could have like given some things more attention. Like I think I pay a little bit more attention about what's happening in the bodybuilding world now because I did go into it with like no expectations and like kind of blind. I didn't really pay attention to what was what. I kind of just took what was given to me and did with that what I did. But I think now I probably would. So I guess maybe the answer to your first question might change. I might be a little more invested in like what was happening in the bodybuilding world instead of just like I don't know. It's kind of a gift and a curse not knowing, right? Because then you don't compare yourself, and we know comparison is the thief of joy. So not having that, I didn't compare myself to anybody else for real. I didn't know what to think. But going to I don't know if you remember, but going to the first show that I went to, I cried, boohoo. I was 4 weeks out and boohooed in the audience watching these women, especially the older women, because I was like, bro, I'm never going to look like that. I'm half their age and I got 4 weeks to look like that. And I couldn't see it for myself at all. Could not even, no way, no how did I see that for myself. But then I got on stage and didn't recognize myself. Somebody sent me pictures while I was backstage, while the show was still going on. And I had to watch the video 3 times before I realized it was me. So, like I said, it's kind of a gift and a curse not following along, but I also kind of wish I did follow along so that I would have a better idea, and be a little more critical of some of the things. But I mean, it is what it is now.
Yeah, I definitely look at it as pros and cons. I kind of spoke of it in the last conversation. I think we have seasons once we really get into it. And I wish I at least had 1 or 2 shows. If I've done 8, 9 shows, maybe my first one was the only one where I didn't have expectations. Every other show in between, even my last one, if I don't get first place, I lost. Yeah. And like, I placed second place in a pro show, got a check, had a good vacation trip, all that shit, just trash. I got second place, I lost. I ain't nobody. And it's like, it don't even make sense in hindsight, but.
Because to be fair, even if you win first place, life's still gonna go, nobody's gonna, as Rodney said, like nobody gives a shit the next day. Like the people closest to you, you know what I mean? They're gonna celebrate you regardless, whether you win first place or don't win at all. The people closest to you are gonna celebrate you because you did do a thing, right? But the rest of the world.
And shout out to the people that be getting like extra serious. I don't know if they ain't got nothing else going on in life, but they be getting real serious. So it's all good and fun competition, but some people, they be really like picking at people and throwing little stuff out. There was a guy at my first show and he was talking junk just because he competed before. Not knowing I've been a bodybuilder for like 5, 6, 7 years. I just never been on stage or I didn't know how to pose. But I'd been bodybuilding, so he was talking junk, like pretty much just talking to me like I ain't had no chance. I didn't care what happened. I didn't want to win the show. I wanted to beat him. So my focus was on him. I didn't care what happened. And through that, I appreciate him. I got first place.
See?
That was my only prep where I didn't miss a meal. I didn't miss a cardio. I didn't cheat. And everything else, hey, I don't know what to tell you. That was my only show. So if you're out there talking junk to somebody, You might be lighting a fire under somebody's ass, but we're gonna appreciate you though.
And that's the thing, like it's so you again, like you just can't you don't know who else is gonna show up. You don't know how they're gonna show up. So if this don't teach you nothing else, I tell people two things. One thing you're gonna do is talk to God. It's a spiritual experience for me personally, and I believe that to be true for most people. If you and your God, whoever that is, if y'all don't get closer while you bodybuilding, you did not do it right. You are missing something. It's very much a spiritual experience. But that, and then like, again, just being accountable, because you can't help the outside. You don't know who else is gonna show up or how they gonna show up. You don't know who else been doing this for 10 years and get on stage. And I was lucky enough to win my pro card at my second show. I know people that have done 10 shows and still chasing a pro card. So it's just, you know, it's, I don't want to say luck of the draw, but it kind of is. And because it's such a subjective, I know Sully likes to say it should be objective, but since it is such a subjective sport, like you can only do what you can do. All you can do is the best that you can. That's it. That's all you can do.
That's why I definitely always tell people to play their own game. And I'm looking forward to my next show because I will actually be able to be objective, be present.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody backstage, babe. I probably won't, but you know what I'm saying? I'll have the energy too if I feel like it.
Yeah.
Because I've kind of seen, not only with athletes, but with myself. I've been to a show where I was my best and all the other people was better than me. And I had fifth place, nothing I can do. Yep. I've been, followed the plan to a T for like my coach told me to. And then 3 days from the show, I looked my best. And then show day, I couldn't get a pump. I had a new body. I had 10 pounds or more muscle. Yep. Had to change up the pumping strategies. Yep. But I couldn't get mad because nobody did anything wrong. Yeah. It was just out of my control. Yep. So there's been so many, just even personally and with athletes that, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm content with, as long as I've checked all my boxes, cool, I learned, and now we're moving on.
And we move on, yeah. That's all you can do.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. What else? Okay, you mentioned that people, I'm thinking about doing a show. What would you recommend them to do? Or where should they start?
Ooh. First, I would say start with figuring out whether or not you have the capacity, the mental capacity. Again, this is a very mental game. It's easy to come to the gym. It's easy to follow a diet plan. It is not easy to stay in a good mental space. I can wholeheartedly 100% see how people end up down a slippery slope with like eating disorders and stuff like that, and doing something like bodybuilding, or honestly anything athletically on a high level. Like I can completely see how that can become a thing for people. And there are so many factors. For example, the scale, right? You weigh in every day, every week, whatever the case may be, and we can get so stuck. Anybody who's ever done a weight loss or fitness journey, you get on the scale and that number means something. But in bodybuilding, it's just a measurement. It doesn't necessarily dictate whether or not things are going well or not by itself, right? There are so many other factors that would tell you whether or not things are going the way they should be going. But if you're not in the right mental space for that scale will have you fucked up.
Pretty much.
So, if you're not in a good mental space, and if you don't have a good support system, I tell people this story all the time. When I first started, one of the first phone calls I made was to my son's dad. He used to bodybuild years ago, and that was what he said to me. He was like, look, if you're not in a good mental space, and if you don't have a good support system, if you don't have people that are gonna support you and be able to hold you accountable, don't do it. So I would start there, make sure that you can check those 2 boxes. And then I would say the next thing is probably like figuring out what federation you want to do. So whether or not you're interested in only doing natural, or if you're interested in supplementing or enhancements, figure that out, figure out what organization you're going to do, because then you're going to need to figure out, you know, what division you need to get into, and whether or not, like, then you can get into because the poses are going to differ a little bit, the processes are going to differ a little bit, and then the type of coach that you need are going to differ a little bit. So I think that's probably the first thing I would do, is kind of like figure out, okay, well, do I want to be natural? Do I want to be enhanced? And then figure out, like I said, what organization. So watch some videos on YouTube, go to a show. I do wish I went to a show sooner than I did.
True.
I like that I went as late as I did, because like I said, we were about 4 weeks out from my first show by the time I went. So I'm not mad at the way that I did do it, but I do wish I would have went a little bit sooner, so that I just would have known what to expect.
Gotcha.
But yeah, going to a show is a good start, and then I think that's probably like the first couple of things.
Gotcha. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think though you said something along the lines of, if you wasn't here or you wasn't working with me, like you might not have made through the process, something like that. So I'm not looking for you to like hype me up or nothing like that. It's more so, could you speak to the principles of like, what are some of the things that somebody should be looking for in a coach? Ooh. Or like questions to ask when they're shopping? Because even if a person is a good coach, that don't mean they're a good coach for you.
Absolutely.
Communication or whatever the case may be. So what would you recommend there?
I would wholeheartedly suggest doing a consultation. Energy don't lie. And I think that you have to be able to, you and your coach there should be a cohesive, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it should feel good. Like, you shouldn't feel uncomfortable asking them questions, where there's plenty of things that, like, I'd be like, Melvin, this might be too much information, but I'm finna tell you anyway. And and I don't necessarily feel uncomfortable telling you those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that might have even come with time, but I don't think there was ever a time where I was like, I really need to tell him this, but I'm uncomfortable telling him this. There might have been times where I'd be like, he might need to know, he might not. And I might have chose he might not, you know what I'm saying? But there was never a time where I was like, I'm not going to tell him this because I'm uncomfortable, because he makes me uncomfortable. So I think that that's super important. I actually just recently had somebody ask me if I felt like there would be a difference between having a female coach versus a male coach. And honestly, I had never thought about it. Like, we kind of just stumbled into this. It wasn't like I came into this like, hey, I want to be a bodybuilder. But I think having a coach who has done what you're trying to do, male or female, I think that matters. And then I think it matters, again, whether or not you're in a space where you want to be enhanced or not, because the way you have to treat a natural body versus the way you would treat an enhanced body, especially when you get down to like peak week and like the little scientific, like the nitty gritty of it, there are differences. And if you're dealing with somebody who's never dealt with a natural body and you're supposed to be natural, then they may not understand that. They're going to have you doing stuff that an enhanced body should be doing, and that may or may not be helpful for you. And again, you know, that's something that, it, again, might be subjective, but I think it matters personally. I think that having a coach who, everybody got to start somewhere, right? But having a coach who has a track record, to me was important. Like, being able to see the transformations on your page was important to me. And again, I wasn't interested in bodybuilding at the time, but I could see that you had clients who had transformations and who had went from, you know, one thing to another, whatever that may have been, whether it was weight loss or whatever. So that was important to me. And just, again, I just feel like energy don't lie. Like, once you meet with somebody, having a consultation is important. And that I stand by that in my hair business and my posing as a posing coach. I want to meet with you first, sit down, have a conversation before I ever agree to just jump in and, yeah, sure, let's start posing. Because I might not like you and you might not like me. once we start, you might not think that I know what I'm talking about. You might think you understand things differently than me, and that's cool. We don't have to do this. So as a coach, you pay me for my expertise, right? And so if I'm willing to give you my money, then I need to make sure that I can learn from you. I need to be I need to feel comfortable taking your advice and following your direction, because otherwise it's a waste of your time, because now what you're trying to teach me, it's not that it's not working, it's that I'm not doing the work, and now I'm wasting my money.
Yeah, I was just telling somebody recently that I told a client, this was a regular lifestyle client, in person, and I'm telling her she needed I think she probably needed another coach. Yeah. She's like, what do you mean? Like, she was shocked. I'm like, well, she only been there like 2.5 months. Every week she come in lifting the shirt up. I don't see no results. I said, have you been following the meal plan? She's like, yeah, I just get started. It was like month 1. Month 2 said she been following. 2-3 weeks in, now she's like, I still don't see no results. Are your clothes fitting different or better? She's like, yeah, but the scale not going down. Okay, so I went through that whole process of explaining that. And she just every week. She came 2 days a week, every week. And then finally I asked her about the nutrition, and I was like, from 0 to 100%, how accurately have you been sticking to the meal plan, and that's including eating under it or over it? She's like, well, I mean, I've been doing it. I've been 100%, except I haven't been eating the carbs. And I was like, okay, why? I always ask questions first. And she said, well, I just thought that all them carbs ain't good for you. You should have seen my face. I was like, for one, why didn't you communicate that? Because I understand that you might not know, and then I can at least give you my philosophy, my mindset, then we can go from there. Because, I mean, you give me your money, you paid me, you grown, you can do whatever you want to.
Do whatever you want to.
Just let me know what's going on so I can help you. But yeah, so she's like, yeah, I just figured that, I always heard that, so you pay me to tell you what to do, but you gonna do what you heard.
You gonna do what
I think you need another coach. Cause you ain't about to come here and not get results, tell people that I ain't get you results, and you won't even follow the plan.
Correct.
So yeah, I'll holler.
People ask me all the time, they're like, why don't you train? Why don't you do this? Because people don't listen. People choose, they pick and choose what they want to listen to. And then my favorite thing to tell people is I just follow directions well. Whatever that man tell me to do I try to stick to it as closely as possible. But if I don't stick to it, I know that's not your fault. I have to take that, as we talked about earlier, like I have to take that accountability. Don't have nothing to do with you.
And I don't know if you can just ask questions about it, but fill out a coach's temperament. There's a lot of people that have coach PTSD that I have now. For sure. And like, I'm sorry to bother you, I'm sorry to party. You know how much money you just gave me? Yeah. You can ask a question.
You can ask a question and set expectations. I think that's also important too when you're dealing with a coach, as far as like what communication looks like. If I reach out to you, are you gonna respond within 24 hours, or am I gonna have to wait until I send my check-in for a response? Like things like that are important. It's not things that people may necessarily think about up front, but I do think that we have to also remember that coaches are people, right? We have lives outside of coaching. And even if we don't have much of a life outside of coaching, we coach a lot of people. So it takes up time, that time adds up, and I may not always be available to respond immediately, but you might have access, give me 24 hours, give me 48 hours to respond. No, you're not going to have to wait, a week for a response. But that should go both ways. If I reach out to you about something, or if I'm trying to figure out whether or not you're doing the things that I'm asking you to do as a coach, you need to respond. Because if you're not, we both got to do our part, right? And so I think finding a coach, or looking for a coach who fits your personality. It's a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like it's at the end of the day, you got relationships with all types of people, coworkers, bosses, platonic relationships, on top of romantic relationships, and they all, but there's certain things that they all kind of need to have in order for them to work. And a coach's relationship is no different. Like, you can't just pick somebody because, oh, they've won a bunch of times, or everybody under them has won. Everybody under them that they show you has won, because we all got winners and losers. So I think that just making sure that synergy is there, and that, again, you can be comfortable being who you are with your coach is important.
Yeah, I would say, and don't be afraid to ask for what you think you need, and see if that is something that coach can do. Yeah. There are some things that the coach might tell you up front, oh, no, I totally understand, but I can't do that. Like, I'm not texting you every day to see if you woke up. Like, I'm not doing that. I'll refer you to another reputable person that's going to do it. But, I mean, some people need that. Yeah. And the coach might say, well, give me an extra $100 a month and I'll do it. You might get somebody, I ain't doing it. I value my time a little more than that, but, you know, just ask. And then I would say a lot of new people, they have misconceptions on what a coach is. So I start consultations off that. A coach is very subjective. And I ask, is there anything specific that they're looking for, especially if they've worked with other coaches? It's probably at least 1 or 2 things they ain't like.
Yeah, they didn't like.
So I don't want to hear about your other coach, but what are you looking for? And we can, from the beginning of this consultation, I can let you know whether I do
whether
that.
I'm willing to do that or
I ain't
not.
doing that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And that'll save both parties a whole bunch of time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool. I think that might be all I have right off. Yep, went on hair, went on posing.
Yeah.
How do they connect with you for posing?
Posing, Instagram again is at Diamond Builds a Body. We are transitioning into some different branding soon. So I'm excited about that. But right now it's at Diamond Builds a Body, and it'll probably be that for a little bit longer. So, but Flawless Flex is coming soon. I'm excited about that. Working on some content and some gym attire, and posing around that brand in general. So we'll be following up on that soon.
Gotcha. I don't know why I just thought about this, but I actually just want to see your reaction. Now that you're the fit person in probably most of the circles, what do you think? What's your honest thought when somebody said, "Girl, I need to work out with you"?
My response is usually, no, you don't. I normally just tell people, you don't want to do. I get a lot of that, actually. I need to work out with you, or I need to do what you're doing. And I tell people, you don't want to do what I'm doing. It's not actually what you want. I don't want to do what I'm doing most of the time. But I know the goal that I've set for myself, and I know what it's going to take for me to get to that goal. But I don't want to do it. It's not particularly fun. It is what it is for me because I'm a competitor. I enjoy being competitive. Most people don't have that same drive or that same willingness to show up in a certain way, in a certain capacity. There are plenty of people who do, obviously, because bodybuilding, you know what I'm saying, like being a high level athlete or doing anything at a high level, there are plenty of people, but most people, that's not what you want.
Yeah. And most people don't understand the difference between working out and training.
Correct.
So like, even if you don't feel like working out today, if you like, I might get on stage again. It might not be next year, it could be in 5 years. But in order to be better, I need to do this exercise in this way with this amount of intensity, or I'm gonna get on stage looking the same. So it's like it's a sense of purpose that people get. So like now, if you're trying to work out with me, I need you to get out of the way. Like you're literally in the way of my project.
Yes.
So that's probably the biggest topic. Like you're in the way. So you be supportive. Like, hey, even if you can't keep up with the person and they allow you to work out with them, just get out the way.
Yeah.
They ain't trying to talk. Ask them questions after.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
Take them out to lunch afterwards.
Yes.
You can ask all the questions you want to. They want some food.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But not doing that workout. You're gonna lose a friend.
I don't. When I tell you I be in and out the gym, like if I'm not in here with you, 67 minutes. Like I don't want to stand around. I don't even want to take the little minute that the little app tell you to take in between sets. I don't even want to do that. I'm trying to get in here, get this work in, and get out of here. I don't want to talk.
I would love to hear get like a recording and people and that's like see me. I've been to the gym, certain gyms 5-10 years and ain't never talked to that person. See them all day. Some of them I mean nod, some of them looking at the ground.
Yeah.
I would love to see what they think I'm mean or antisocial or asshole.
You know you got
like
rest
that.
the asshole face.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to do better though. But I am. So I be like actually trying to make eye contact.
I'm proud of you for having on a hat that got color in it. I'm so proud of you.
So I gotta let some of my personality out.
Yeah.
People know me 10 years, only seeing my more fitness. I got a whole closet full of clothes people don't even know. But, so yeah. All right, so yeah, it's been a good conversation.
Yeah, I
with
appreciate you.
Big Diamond.
Big Dime, 2 times.
Mother, posing coach,
Yeah.
all the above.
All the things.
So yeah, good talk.
I appreciate you. Thank you
Yep.
for having me. I appreciate it. It was a good talk.
Yep, cool. Cut.
I don't like the haters. I don't like the haters. Hey, flex, 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 flex. Yeah,
I spent a lot for this.
flex.
Diamonds and